don't you know? Banging knives to the rhythm of the call. We don't care about dollars or the shiny blade. We're just holding to see the road. It's all every day. Round tripping positions, that's how we roll. We won't make a dollar, won't celebrate. We're the zero holders, so after we say, zero holders are after we say. Zero holders with the kings.
All right, good morning, guys. Happy Sunday. It's January 18th, and yeah, it's a sports ball day, man. It's a good one too. Actually watched the games yesterday, had a blast. Fucking feel so bad for the Bills fans out there. Boy, they cannot they can't get it done in the playoffs, man. Holy shit. Although I don't follow it like I want to, and I only started watching the playoffs this year. Yeah, dude. Good morning. Ralph's looking actually pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. Yesterday, like Rocky for the for the bags ecosystem. I don't think that's dumb. I don't think that's dumb. I feel used after the stream. Whatever. I made $500 from the bags thing yesterday, but I feel like a fuck retweeting that guy and that, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. I can't remember if the Bills won the Super Bowl a few years back. Any of you guys that follow, remember? Choina, you follow, so you remember. By the way, good morning, CJ. Good morning, Choina, JY's GM. But yeah, the Bills kind of got robbed yesterday, and I think they get robbed often. It's kind of crazy. You know, JY's, yeah, like I don't feel like I did anything wrong, but I actually regret retweeting it. I don't regret claiming the fees at all. I shouldn't have retweeted it though until I knew. I need to be smarter about that. You know, like I don't like getting like manipulated, or like I don't like getting used. Somebody used me to make money, right? Like I think that sucks. And I bet none of you guys bought, which is cool. Like as long as people I know didn't buy and lose, great. So I don't care a lot, but it's like it happened live, whatever. And then it wasn't until like after the stream, I'm like, God, that was shitty. Like that sucks. I don't like people using me for shit. That's all. But overdone, whatever, made $500, like hard to complain. But yeah, but I shouldn't have retweeted it. I should have let them push it, and I'll just claim the fees and whatever. That could have been enough, right? So, and by the way, somebody launched a copycat. Oh, anybody who doesn't know, we only got a few people watching right now, but anyone who doesn't know, I mean, I think all you guys were here, but somebody launched a bags token for like my stream, I guess, kind of. They routed fees to me, and came in the stream and like told me to claim it. They set up a token for the stream. They're like, let's push this thing, let's grow your thing, whatever. And I'm like, guys, I have a PUMPFUN already. I already got a coin. But we were looking into the platform, so we're like, well, let's do it. Let's like, we can experiment. I don't mind that. I didn't know the guy had bundled up the tokens, and that as soon as it was retweeted and pumped a little bit, he sold it all, killed the coin. So that part sucks. And I did what I said I was going to do. I didn't retweet it yet, but I dropped a reply explaining what happened. In fact, guys, like that guy deleted the tweet, right? The guy who created the coin and shielded initially, he deleted the tweet. So it was clearly like a scam in a way, right? But I put a reply there. I'll retweet it, but I don't think it matters. I don't. So I'm leaving the initial tweet up. I've got my reply in there. And I was just clear. The only thing I wanted to make sure people really know is like I didn't have any tokens, didn't buy, didn't sell, like none of that, but I claimed fees. So all good there. All good there. English, good morning. Luna, good morning. Thank you, sir. Cosmos, good morning. Good to see you guys. This might be a real bad week, boys. Might be a real bad week. I don't know. So a couple things. We got a lot to talk about. I think like always, holy cow, like there's always so much going on, man. Yeah, bad feel about this week, man. Why can't I get the PUMPFUN stream live? Hang on. It's all right, but it's not actually going live. Hang on. Yeah, not a good feel about what's happening this week because tariffs, dude. It's the tariffs thing. We got more tariffs coming and like announced at the stupidest time when tariffs are probably going to be ruled illegal still. Like it's what a weird thing happening. This is all around Greenland, right? Okay, hang on. I think we got Pump Fun. There we go. All right, we're good now. Also weird. Check this out, boys. Something happened in the past, like just few days, where all of a sudden, like tips are starting to fly on abstract again. They're like little like micro tips, right? Oh, I think I know what it is. They used to have a filter where if you had to get tipped at least like $1 for it to show in the feed, and now all of a sudden it's like a lot. But as of like just like 2 days ago, like just a bunch, and so I don't know if it's people farming for like abstract, if there's like behind the scenes like word that ABS is coming or whatever. So we'll see. Sovereign, what's up, man? Real bad week. Real bad week. Good for you. Oh, right. No, guys, Sovereign's that dude. He's that guy that you can not counter trade, but you know what I mean? Like Sovereign's that guy. Good to see you, man. Yeah, when things are shitty, works out well. Bag's not dead though. We'll say that. Bag's not dead. Yesterday was its first real challenge. I think challenge met. Big tokens found support. We got to go look at we got to look at gas. We got to go look at Ralph. I think Ralph right now looks like the big winner. So good to see it like resilient as of just right now. So new. It's just so new, but resilient for now as much as it can be. And then this week's going to be a really important week for the Bags ecosystem because this week is the first time you're going to get some of these characters on some big streams, right? Thread Guy will have Steve or Jeffrey or one of those big names from the ecosystems coming on his stream, most likely. So, yeah, I J-Wise, I think it's actually pretty smart to be buying that Ralph coin. Here's the thing, Sovereign. I'm curious your take. If tariffs are ruled illegal and if that's coming this week, because I don't think. Tell me if I'm wrong. When they didn't rule on them the prior Friday, right? So like a week and a half ago, we knew they rescheduled to Wednesday, right? And then Wednesday comes and they didn't give us a ruling. But I don't remember. I didn't see that they gave us the next date. Did they tell us the next date? But like, I'm not super convinced, and this is why I want to hear your take, that the way you described it how it plays out. I can't get a feel for how it plays out. If they're ruled illegal, you would think the market pumps because that means prices probably come down. But it adds like a whole new instability, right? It means potentially repaying tariffs, potentially repaying hundreds of billions of dollars worth of that tariffs we've already taken in, the money we've taken in. On top of that, it means Trump's plan B that he said he's got a backup plan. And that backup plan might be worse than tariffs. And it's probably, I can't remember who dropped it in chat, but it made sense. It's like licenses, like import, export licenses, which could be just as bad because, like picture Trump's gold card. It's like $1 million, right? And I think he's got like a platinum $10 million. Like it could be something ridiculous like that. Like if you want us to like import your goods, you need to pay us. You need to have a license, and the license costs $20 billion. You know what I mean? Like it could be something like that. So I'm not convinced that if they're ruled illegal that the market pumps, because I think it's like as soon as they're ruled illegal, it's uncertainty. Volatility, yes. But then I think if they're ruled legal, I think that just means continue as is, and maybe market reacts to that because it's the money, the country bringing in money. And again, it's some stability. I'm not sure what way it goes. Repaying tariffs is a giant stimulus, so that would be even more bullish. Backup plan uncertainty, yeah. Repaying tariffs is a stimulus. For other countries? Yeah, I'm so not sure how it goes. I just know volatility. And I don't know that this week is the week. Tuesday, Wednesday, next week are the opinion days. Okay. So you have maybe a week to go. By the way, we're live on Abstract, on X, on Kick, on PUMPFUN, on Retake, on Zora. That's a good shout. For companies, it's a stimulus. They have to pay less. That's a good shout. Something like PPI, you imagine, comes down, right? Which is an important metric. But yeah, I don't know, because then you had the Fed say like even the price increases is a one-time thing where it comes down over time, and they expected like within 6 months prices have settled back down to normal. So it's like it's so fucking interesting, isn't it? Rocky, good morning, man. Thank you very much, sir. It's good to see you. Anyway, come to YouTube, subscribe over here. It's Inside NFTs over on the YouTube side. And smash the like. I think we're going against the grain again, like crypto YouTube content at a 5-year low for viewership. My stuff's not, which is kind of cool. Just an organic thing. We're just about where we should be and have been and whatever. Not feeling the hit. In fact, I showed yesterday over the past few days looking pretty solid. And again, we're live on X. I'm at HUDAH_idiot. You can follow me over here. And a quick shout out to Steak and Shake. How great is that? Hey, Luke, good morning, man. By the way, guys, follow Luke. He's fucking awesome. Luke 500. Awesome guy. Sent me a really cool piece of gen art. Fucking awesome guy. Oh, this is my art, bro. Macron and dude. So this is what I'm worried about. This is why this week is kind of yikes. Okay, first, Steak and Shake. I love this news. So Steak and Shake has a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Awesome. They accept Bitcoin payments, and since they've done that, store sales up. This is very much like the Rec Drinks thing, and like Pudgy Penguin toys in stores. When you have a crypto thing, crypto bros support it. They do. They just do. This is us supporting our people. This is like a buddy of mine sent me a video in New York of this Hasidic Jewish community. Actually, it might have been in Pennsylvania. It was somewhere, right? And that they only shop at their stores. They only give housing to their people, right? And this is just how kind of life works. But dude, it's crypto bros are like that. Like if I see a store that accepts Bitcoin or crypto, or they show their support of it, I'll support them. So I buy Pudgy Penguin toys if I ever go out. I don't. And a Rec Drink, if I saw it in the store, I'm buying it, especially now that you get paid to buy it. The same thing here, Steak and Shake accepting Bitcoin, and I think Chick-fil-A does too, instantly makes me want to go out and buy. I'm not going to spend my Bitcoin there, but I want to go support them. Anyway, their sales are up since accepting Bitcoin payments, which is badass. Badass. Couldn't love that more. And they're increasing their Bitcoin exposure by $10 million. So they're buying Bitcoin. They're buying $10 million worth of Bitcoin, which is not a needle mover, obviously, but this is the thing we need. We need that. We need that adoption, and it's fucking beautiful. It's fucking beautiful. Ralph is on his way to not just recovery, but it's not long before we start talking Ralph all-time high. Again, JY's will always get flowers for this. JY's putting this on our radar back here. JY's, I'm sorry. Yeah, JY's. God, dude, I think you put this on our, if it wasn't this initial thing, it was here. It was somewhere really low. It was like, dude, actually, no, I know exactly where it was. It was right here. It was right at 3 mil. It was right at 3 mil. And then the next day it was up to 5 mil plus. Maybe it was 2 days before. You gave it to us here, 2 to 3 mil. Yep. So and again, I know I said this yesterday, but it's just so fucking awesome. There's not enough flowers for J-Wise because it's the way he said it. Again, he said it dude, show this. I sent you a message. Show this. Show the Ralph thing. Go here, check it out. And he's like, or don't, but you're going to see it on the timeline if you don't. He's like, whatever, but you're going to hear about it either way. And it made me look at it. And he gave it to us a week before this happened. And I know CJ said he got in and he got a 10x on it, and amazing. And it's great. Out of all the stuff on Bags app, this feels like the one. This one feels different. This feels better than gas Gas is pretty special too, I believe, but this is, I think, the one, because now we're starting to see spin-offs, like derivatives of this, maybe like better versions of it, but that's probably not the right way to put it. But the point is, Ralph is the one. And so, like, if AIXPT was like the face of agents from like last year, Ralph might be the face of the vibe coding thing, right? Of the Claude Code, vibe coding apps, all that stuff. It looks special. So back up to 30 mil. This fell to 10 mil yesterday. Happened when we were live on stream yesterday. Fell all the way to 10, and JY's like, dude, briefly we talked like, is it fucking game over? Right? Is it game over, or like game over? Or is this maybe like is it stupid to be buying here and thinking there's a bottom and that there is a chance we get another bounce? I'm like, dude, I don't think it's stupid at all. I don't think it's stupid. Buy the fear. Buy the fucking fear, and it worked. If you bought there, you're up 2x. 3x? You're up 3x. How about that? How about that? Up 3x if you got the bottom yesterday. This probably has got room still. I would say, okay, if I were a betting, I am a betting man. Okay, I'm a betting man. I think this coin gets an all-time high. I'm worried about this week, so we'll get to that, and we'll kind of circle back and think through a little more. But like 2x from 15 mil, but from 10 mil, which it got, I remember it looking at it at 10. Didn't it get to 10? Maybe it was 15. I don't know why I thought 10. 2x. We'll just say 2x. Nice 2x. And a quick 2x. But I think Ralph's got an all-time high in it still. If the market will give us that. Yeah. Oh, gotcha, JYs. Gotcha. I like it. So we've got, and this is like the spin-off idea, the derivative or like the next phase or the whatever. And I don't know. I don't totally know what this is. We might watch this entire 7-minute video. Okay, there is another video. Oh, here it is. We might watch this entire almost 8-minute video to get an idea about what this is. But I'll give you the quick TLDR, which is there's a token airdrop coming. And it sounds super easy. It's as simple as drop your address in the reply. It's as simple as doing that. Drop your address in the reply, some kind of multiplier if you quote tweet it. Okay, I always question that kind of shit because I don't know how they're going to track it. I don't know how they track it. So I'm not sure right off the bat. But I'll roll the dice on something like that. Now, what it is where I need to kind of understand a little more. It's supposed to be like this. Well, shoot, I think it's something like AI16Z, where it's like, if you hold this coin, let's say it's called Idea Ralph. I don't know if that's the name of it, but if you hold the Idea Ralph coin, then all the other coins that are launched like through this thing, through this like kind of platform or whatever he's doing, then you get tokens from everything that launches like under it. So, right, it's one of those. We've seen this before. And I don't know if he's cracked the code for, well, what the fuck does the coin do? Oh, the top level coin, top level coin. I don't know. We've seen it where holding coin equals getting more coins, but still, what's the utility of the other coins? So you know what I mean? Oh, dude, JY's always post. Always. Like, it's not a one-way street here, right? If I see something cool, I talk about it. If you guys see something cool, please put it in the chat, please. Like, we do this together very much, It's like how this stuff works. One person can't cover it all. It's like we all bring back to the tribe, So yeah, whatever you see that's feeling spicy. And it's funny because for Ralph, you could tell it felt different to you. When you see that stuff, please bring it. Yeah. Would be awesome. This is going to be a base token. I think this is like a week off or 2 weeks off. In this video, he's got a date. I think it's maybe 2 weeks off. But I think we play the whole video and we just break down what he's doing because he's vibe coding the whole thing. Jordan replying is a good sign. Seeing the people that are replying here, dropping their address, a good sign. We need to watch that video and get a feel for what that is. All right. So we'll come back to this. This is pretty important. So we'll come back to this. We got time. There's no rush on this thing. But why I'm a little worried about the market this week, I think this week's a big week for the Clarity Act, right? Which I still will say it's not going to pass. I still don't think it's passing. What I'm worried about is more than it not passing is what if Trump flips to be like anti-crypto, which is hard to picture him going like that, that drastic of a flip. But what if he does? What if he does, man? You have Eleanor Tariff here saying that the White House is considering pulling its support for the crypto market structure bill. Completely pulling their support for it if Coinbase doesn't come back with some kind of agreement on the yield on the stablecoin yields that satisfies the banks. Because it was Brian Armstrong that walked away while you had on the other side, like Ripple, and I'm trying to think of some of the other names that still supported it. The version that was there, they still supported. Coinbase was like the lone wolf who backed out of it, which is kind of crazy. And then Eleanor saying White House is furious with Coinbase. Sober, dude, it feels like that, doesn't it? It really feels like that. I feel like no matter what at this point, even a win, I think we've lost, right? But we always knew this is how it was going to play out. Always. We knew once this got made like real mainstream adoption, not just people buying coins, but like regulations. We know they weren't going to do things that are in favor of us. They never do. They never do. So that's not surprising at all. Like, I think we all had that belief that once it became this like institutional thing, that it's game over for us in a way. Still plenty of opportunities to make money. That never goes away. But the, like, any form of privacy that you had, like anything, going to be gone. They still, I think, are going to try to kill DeFi. At least the version we knew or know still, where it's like, I can do whatever I want, whenever I want, swap whatever. You'll still be able to, but they'll know every single thing you do, every swap you make, taxed at every end of that. That's what's coming. The fuck was that? Hang on real quick, boys. Hang on real quick. All right, we're all good. A picture fell off the wall upstairs, like shattered. I thought there was a fight going on or like something. My daughter's getting ready for like a big like not a dance, some kind of like whatever, some kind of like banquet, a fucking banquet. And I thought the kids were fighting, getting ready or something. All right, whatever. DK, one day, man. One day. I think so. All right, where were we? Where were we? Oh yeah. Just Clarity Act and fucking these fucking pigs. Yeah. Okay. This I don't like. This I don't like. I'm real worried, man. I'm real worried. Okay, this is President Trump's bill at the end of the day, not Brian Armstrong. And if Trump pulls his support for this, look, I don't see a time where Trump becomes anti-crypto. I don't think he can at this point, but that worries me. And no matter what, this thing is not passing. It's not passing. This week, I think we're going to get some good info as far as when's the new markup, if we're getting a markup. Last we heard is like, dude, this might not be till like March. This might be like a few months off. I know they keep saying they're trying to get it in here, like January still, but I think March is what we're hearing. I don't think they're that close anymore. Now, like Brian Armstrong had retweeted this saying like she kind of got this stuff wrong, and she replied back saying, "No, I trust my sources. I think it's exactly this. I think the White House or Trump is like very, very upset with Coinbase about this. It's not good. And it's not good for crypto. I think if we get if this doesn't pass, I don't think it's the biggest deal for crypto like this year, right? I don't think that limits what crypto can do this year. But if the White House pulls support for it and says, well, fuck you guys then, like Trump often does, that I think is a problem. So that worries me a little bit. Okay, still, here's the Armstrong tweet. Right? Love your post. This isn't accurate. White House has been super constructive here. They asked us if we can figure out a deal with the banks, which we're working on, cooking up some ideas on how we can help the community banks specifically in the bill, since that's what it's about, community banks. And she replied back somewhere. Maybe she had retweeted it saying she stands by exactly what she said and the way she said it. It's not great. And then Paul, he's their legal guy. Yeah, chief legal officer. White House has been clear and we're feeling good about their lean in here. Nobody wants to see retail screwed. Okay. That can make me feel a little better. I wonder though, Jay-Wise, that's what I would usually think. Brian's trying to protect crypto, but is this a thing of Brian trying to protect Coinbase, not crypto? Because you had all these other crypto institutions who are still supporting that version of the bill, who broke ranks with Coinbase. And apparently they're not happy with Brian Armstrong either. So a little worried about that. A lot worried about that. Just to be totally honest, like a lot worried about the state of the Clarity Act right now. Again, if it doesn't pass, that's one thing. But if it loses support from the White House, that's completely different. And Jay-Wise, I'm with you there. I'm with you there. The more successful Coinbase is, the same for crypto. I think so. They're a good face for crypto. They are. They're good. So I'm with you there. Okay, we have some other crazy shit, though. Such as the Bank of England is being told to prepare for a market crash if the U.S. announces alien life. Fucking weird and random and whatever, right? But Bank of England is now prepping for an announcement about alien life. And that stems from, by the way, there's an article on Disclosed TV. I'm going to put it in the chat. Okay. Where this is coming from. Hang on. Boom. Got kicked off kick. There we go. Yeah, boys. Aliens. I'm scared of, you know what? Okay, I'll be really honest. You know how I'm super bullish, right? My 5-year kind of headspace, 4 or 5 year. Oh, Jay-Wise, dude, I love that stuff. I love that stuff. I talk about aliens a lot. Love them. I love them, dude. Fucking love that stuff. Don't tell Marty, but I believe in him. This actually stems from there's talk out there that, well, okay, hang on. This year is am I right? This year's the 250th Is this our, yeah, it's this year. Okay, this is our 250th anniversary of the US, right? And we've got like the big 250 like US games and all this shit and a big celebration and whatever, which is kind of cool. I don't hate that. I think that's cool. I think we should be prideful. Um there's stuff floating out there that around that or at that event or whatever, Trump is going to announce that like aliens are real. That's what's being talked about out there. And it's interesting to see that completely independent of this. Like that's a whole separate thing in like the UFO, UAP, like kind of realm. And then separately, you got this. Got a plan for what happens to the markets if that happens, or maybe it's when that happens. That to me, that's a when. That's coming at some point, no matter what, right? But is that a this year thing, or is it don't know. But spooks me a little. Also, I don't know. You know what? Maybe best case scenario is whenever the alien thing happens, John Cena got a doodle. Whenever the alien thing happens is possibly when we start announcing some like cool tech that we have, right? There's like, okay, this is like fantasy. This is that crazy, like no chance it happens, but also this is like tiniest little chance it happens. Whenever the alien talk happens, there's a chance that's our chance. That might be the time we can announce tech that we have. And that could be like 0 point energy stuff. It could be. It could be. Right. And then all of a sudden we have like unlimited power to power all these like AI, supercomputers, and it solves the energy problem that's coming. It's definitely coming. Okay. But the flip side of that is if that's true, we wouldn't have done the Venezuela thing. Right. The Venezuela thing was completely all about oil. So we wouldn't have done that if the 0 point energy thing was like real. So I don't know. Hey, fun to think about. But I mean, back to the things that got me worried this week, which by the way, worries Jim Cramer too. And maybe that's a good sign because the counter Cramer trade is the best trade you can make, right? We saw like maybe a month or two ago, copy trading Pelosi versus counter trading Cramer. Well, counter trading Cramer, you'd be up like an extra 50% or like 30 or 40, but like a big amount, big time. Counter trading Cramer is like a winning strategy. So Cramer's saying, look out this week. This is going to be a really bad week for the markets. He said, what holidays tomorrow? What holidays tomorrow? I just realized my kids are off. Hey, there you go, cutie. Very nice, man. John Cena follows you. Cool shit. I like him. I didn't used to like him at all. At all. Like I would he's an actor and he's actually a decent actor. I used to not like John Cena at all, especially because I don't like wrestling, although I probably would like it today. But I'd avoid John Cena stuff like Peacemaker. Peacemaker season 1, I'm like, fuck, I can't stand this guy. So I didn't watch the show. I watched Peacemaker season 2, and I'm completely won over to John Cena. I'm like, dude, that man can act. That man can act. I like him. And then I saw an interview, like he was on like the red carpet kind of thing. Dude, I never liked wrestling. I thought it was such cornball shit. But you know what's funny? That's like a stupid, like, it was fake. There's no reason I didn't like it other than people I knew that liked it, I thought were goofballs, so I didn't like it because of that. It wasn't like my own independent thought, right? Because, like, I love comic books, and WWE is just a comic book IRL. That's all it is. That's all it is. Dude, I want to watch this, what is it, The Smashing Man or that new Rock movie that supposedly his acting is off the charts fucking phenomenal. Like Oscar worthy. I want to see that badly. But like, dude, John Cena, after watching Peacemaker season 2, I like him a lot. Great acting in the show, like great acting. You wouldn't know he's a wrestler. You'd think he's an actor. And now I like John Cena. So then I saw this interview, red carpet kind of thing. So young guy trying to interview John Cena, and John Cena turns around and interviews him. And I'm like, God damn, dude, that's so cool. He seems like a really good guy. Good guy. People in the Smashing, is it Smashing Machine? Something like that. There's a scene that made most people cry in the, yeah. I need to watch it. You know, it's out at home. I might actually, that might be a today thing. I really want to see it. But I'll tell you this, there's a scene in Peacemaker season 2 with John Cena that, holy shit. In fact, hang on. If I can find the scene, oh, dude, come on, I gotta play this. It's so fucking phenomenal. His acting has gotten so good. We're gonna play it. Fuck copyright stuff, whatever. Spoilers, if you haven't seen it, I'm sure nobody cares, but this is from Peacemaker season 2. His acting is phenomenal. And it's not just the scene, but this scene like was like, wow. Police freeze, everyone now! Motherfucker! Everybody stay back! They're armed and dangerous! By the way, it's a cool ass show. It is. It's pretty good.
Shit! Get back, you fucking pigs! Sons of Liberty forever!
Hang on, let me get to the point.
What did you do to us?
So this is like an alternate, like, it's a multiverse thing. This is an alternate universe. And this is his brother who in his universe, his real universe, is dead. So he's here and he's trying to kind of live here because he's like, his brother's alive and his dad's alive and they're good guys here as opposed to villains in his world. And
Get off him! Get off him, please! Stop! What's wrong? What the fuck is wrong with all of us? I'm sorry. I'm so fucking sorry.
You killed your brother, you piece of shit!
This is me. Everything I touch. This is not your world that's wrong or mine. It's me. Fuck.
Chris.
okay, funny enough, it's not as good as I remember it. It's pretty decent though, but he can act. Yeah, shush it. Like it's pretty good. It's not as great as I remember, but that scream, that fucking scream he lets out, I'm like, fuck, dude. He can get there. But I hear the Rock performance in the Smashing Machine is like just elite. So yeah, you know, but funny enough, dude. Yeah, so that's what's so funny, you know, like, because again, I don't watch it, I don't think about it ever, and so like wrestling is acting. Yep, makes sense to go to films. I'm like, dude, it makes sense. They've been acting. That's their profession. They're actors. It's like over the top. It's like over the top. But I don't think it was bad English, but like I remember it as like powerful. It's a powerful moment. It was good. But it was good. He can act. I'll say that he can act. He's not shit. But he was believable. Yeah. But I think The Rock in the Smashing Machine isn't that. It's like Again, like Oscar-worthy acting, like fucking amazing. Oh, dude. Gravity, good morning, man. Good morning. Not terrible. No, not terrible. Good. It was good. It was good. No. 6.4 out of no, better 6.8 out of 10. Yeah, 6.5. 6.5. 6.5. In the smashing, so they were talking about it in the smashing machine, a scene where he's like gonna cry and he pulls a sheet over his face so you don't see it, and it's like felt very human. And yeah, man, no, get the fuck out of here. 2 out of 10. Get the fuck out of here. Guys are nuts. You guys are nuts. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. He can act. The boy can act. All right, back on track. God damn it. God damn it, boys. Okay, the worry this week is back to tariffs. Fucking back to tariffs. Okay, so now it's not just all the tariffs that are out there already. And again, we're waiting for illegal, legal, which actually, let's check Polymarket. But we got new tariffs coming, and this is all about Greenland. And anybody who's supporting Greenland and actually sending troops to Greenland, now we're going to tariff you even more. So brand new, extra 10% tariffs on France, Finland, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Germany, Netherlands, and the UK. Okay, you guys don't want to let us conquer Greenland? Fuck you, we're going to tariff you. How crazy? No, it doesn't, but China, now there's an escalation on the other side that the markets might care about. Right? At some point, like Trump is playing a fuck around and find out game, right? Trump is playing that game. He thinks, I mean, we know what he thinks. He thinks we are, and by the way, we are the most powerful country on the planet. And his version of us, what he pictures we are and used to be, and maybe still are, it's, you know, what we used to be, what we're quickly falling for that. I think Trump's about to find out. If he thinks that the world needs us, I think they do, until they don't. Until you force them to find their workarounds where they don't need us. And that is all I've seen happen over this past year in 2025 is countries say, well, we can't count on them. Now let's figure out another way where we don't need them. And this is now like Canada making deals with China. And right, this is the stuff we're starting to see. It's like, dude, you can disrupt them for now, and you can certainly fuck all these countries for now until they find their workarounds. And then what happens when they build their systems around us and then don't need us? Because that's what it feels like Trump's pushing us towards. Supreme Court odds they rule in favor of tariffs, 32%. So basically 67% chance they rule them illegal. I think the fact that they keep delaying it makes me lean more towards they rule that they're illegal. They're going to support them. That's how I lean, but I don't know. And then those tariffs, by the way, go to 25% on June 1st if we've not acquired Greenland. And I still didn't totally get why we need Greenland, other than like to control the ocean up there, to control the waters. But it's more than that. It's about putting the Golden Dome there. It's about our missile, our missile defense system. It's all about that. It's probably minerals too. But like, I have a feeling they would have allowed us to put those there anyways. I don't know, right? Like, what do I know? But I would imagine, because we're all part of NATO, that they would have let us put it there anyway. We have a military presence on Greenland. We already do. Again, we're all part of NATO. Now, separately, it feels like we're building the anti-NATO, right? Trump is assembling this like board of peace or whatever. Is it called the board of peace? It's something like that, right? And like any country can join. I think they have to pay $1 billion to get on the like board of peace, which feels like he's establishing his own version of NATO. And then I imagine then it's we withdraw from NATO. And then it's the board of peace, and then there's NATO, and then there's BRICS, and there's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's fucking crazy what's going on. We have 3 years still with this guy. Okay, so 10% tariffs. Here's the Trump post. I'm not going to read all that. Where was the Board of Peace? What the fuck is it called? I don't know. Dude, maybe Trump is a genius and he's right about all this too. Like, I talk a lot of shit about him. Maybe he's right. I don't know. There's so much going on behind the scenes. There's so much going on that we don't know. I don't know. Maybe there's more going on, and there's like Russia, China's making big plays to do similar right now. And so we have to do this. It's us or them. I don't think that's the case, but it could be. I don't think that's the case at all, but it could be. I think there's a lot more going on. But I'll show you why right now is actually kind of scary. Oh, somebody tell me real quick, though. What the fuck holiday is tomorrow? Is tomorrow like Columbus Day? Or like something's tomorrow. I don't know why banks are closed tomorrow, but holiday. CJ, glass half full take is tariffs are better than bombs, yeah. Which up until this weekend seemed like Trump's plan A. So in some ways, it's a de-escalation of the situation. Still shitty. Oh, it's MLK. There we go. Thank you, man. Oh, you said that before. I'm sorry, I missed that. Got it. All right. So here's what's kind of worrisome, man. France's President Macron calls for the EU to activate its most potent trade weapon against the U.S. This is after the threat of tariffs. He's calling for the use of the EU's anti-coercion instrument. I don't know what it is. I'm going to grok it and see if we can figure it out. If used against the U.S., it would restrict U.S.'s access to the EU market, blocking U.S. banks from EU procurement and targeting U.S. tech giants. The trade weapon has never been used before. Okay, that's new. That's like, okay, if we're playing hardball, none of these guys have played hardball yet. None of them. None of them played hardball yet. That you start threatening to invade a country, at some point they say, all right, I get it. It's more serious. Now we have to play the game. Got to play the game. This also is probably just Trump negotiation tactics. For sure it is. For sure it is. Hey, what's up, the Yank? GM, man. Hey, Ordinal's looking interesting. I'll say that. You know. But at some point, it's, I don't know, negotiation tactic, or we're going to alienate ourselves from everybody. What is this thing, though? The ACI is outlining EU, blah, 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 whatever, blocking U.S. firms from public procurement, targeting tech giants. We read that. Okay, potentially escalating transatlantic trade tensions. Yeah, dude, I don't know, man. I don't know. But Jim Cramer, again, the anti-Cramer trade is the trade, but he's saying market's going to be ugly this week. He says Tuesday, look out. And I don't know that he's wrong this time. The Kobisi letter, breaking some of this down. The EU's emergency meeting scheduled for, I think, hang on, when was this? 17th, 8th. So tomorrow, step 4 of their tariff playbook. They expect the EU to take an aggressive but open approach. They'll threaten to cancel EU-U.S. trade deals while encouraging Trump to negotiate, which is exactly what he's doing. It's a negotiation tactic. U.S. futures open tonight still, okay, but the market not open till Tuesday. Okay, that'll be interesting tonight to see the futures market, which will lead to step 5 and 6 from our tariff playbook. Markets open lower and President Trump plays hardball. By the way, this usually works out with markets up after a matter of just weeks. So Monday, Tuesday, Trump continues applying public pressure, but investors begin to recognize that tariffs are not yet live and take effect weeks later. So we got, February for these new tariffs, and then June 1st for the escalation. By Wednesday the same week, dip buyers step in and spark a relief rally. Move often fades and leads to another push lower. And that's where smart money begins buying. Yeah, If we were hoping, by the way, have not checked crypto prices today. If we were hoping that like the recent moves, like moves from, the past week or so, we touched 97, maybe touched 98. If there was some hope we were heading up to maybe go play around 100, I think that's gone this week. In fact, I think at this point now, I'm not going to be surprised to see upper 80s. Would love if we hold above what, like 93. If we can hold above there, fucking awesome. It's a great sign. But I think my guts tell me we're not going to. We'll see. But upper 80s is probably right back in play here in the next week or two. Probably this week. Right now, Bitcoin 95.1, ETH 3,300. BNB 947, Ripple 206, Solana 142. Let's peek at midnight and Monero 599. Monero, interesting. Hang on, let's see where midnight is. Did midnight fall out of the top 100? I think it did. Yeah, midnight must be down. Yep. Okay. Yeah, down 1.5%, basically down 15% in the past 7 days. So this is going to be 3 weeks in a row where midnight's going to be on the top losers in a 7-day period. We'll see, when I get to this Tuesday, but again, I'm just waiting for that bounce back now. Midnight's going to be top. Yeah. Midnight should be. Wasn't it 17%? Midnight should be at like number 3 there. Unless I read that completely wrong. Where's midnight? Midnight should be number 2. Weird. Oh, hang on. Okay, I know why. It only is given the top 100. That's why. It's only top gainers or losers of the top 100 coins, so it fell out, which is actually super interesting. I need to keep that in mind because I track that, right? So interesting. All right, hang on. MLK, your father and mother that passed away. You had a 30-year MLK ceremony. You'd feed the community with free spaghetti and chili. Dude, that's awesome. That's fucking awesome. What a beautiful thing. Wow, every president responded? Dude, that's badass. That's really cool. They're sabotaging the shift in the thinking of voters. Powell and the bankers want to crush Trump and Republicans for the midterms. Do you think Powell does? I feel like Powell's pretty independent. I don't think Powell wants to do anything. I'm not sure. It's a great sign crypto hasn't moved from all the tariff talk. At some point the wars just stop mattering, and we're definitely there. Seems like hey, there you go. One positive headline could send us there. I like that. And yes, that's why they're pushing back so hard on the Clarity Act. Yeah. Yep. All right, CJ, I feel a little better having you say that. Yeah, JWise, I still like mute. So I'll just say still short term this week, a little a little what? I don't know. All right, let's do some NFT talk. And then I do want to circle back to that like Wiggins thing. And I want to watch that whole 7-minute video. I think it's important because I think we all need to try to get that airdrop. And again, drop your address in that tweet just to get it. It sounds super easy, right? Okay, hang on. There was something else on this profile I wanted to check. What was it? No, maybe not. Okay, maybe we're good. Oh, yeah, we got this too. Forgot about that. Senate Democrats gonna introduce legislation to block the new 10% tariffs. But, everything hinges on the Supreme Court ruling. Whenever hang on, let's ask Rock. Okay, the next opinion date is Tuesday. All right. So it's like Sovereign said, Tuesday. Oh, hang on. Why the last? It's seen as the next and potentially last realistic window. Oh, for a ruling in January. Okay. Why couldn't it be the following week? Do they not do this weekly? And then, by the way, government shutdown is still like hanging right over us. January 31st. Fuck, can't wait for the Pats game today, man. Oh, and the Bears. I don't like the Bears, but I'll root for the home team here. Will there be a government shutdown by January 31st? Down to a 20% chance. All right. Not bad. It's not great. But I'm going to circle back to the fucking Ralph thing here in a minute. We'll do NFTs real quick. We got the new Nakamigos NFTs. We talked about them already. We had the reveal already. I think there's people hoping that the NFTs turn into like a PFP, and they're not. They're not gonna. Dude, the Nakamigos have been tweeting about these. They are literally just text. This is literally Blute. This is like Blute 5.0. This is like Blute 100.0. This is like the 100th iteration of Blute. It's just text. It's just stuff taken from like old message boards and emails and stuff. That's all. It's all. And when I say that's all it is, kind of like everything Nakamigos are from like Hi-Fi or whatever, or HIFO, whatever they're called. I like everything they do. I like that they're always like, they're just pure collectibles. And so like, I like this, even if this is all it is, but all it is, I dig that shit. I like just preserving. Actually, I wish they did this on Bitcoin. I kind of wish this was a Bitcoin collection. I think the only reason, actually, that's kind of stupid that it's not. Only reason it's not is because it would have cost them so much to inscribe it. But I like them. I like them. But that's all it is. Now, people have kind of figured out at this point, like some of the people that are named in this, well, the names of the people, or at least they're like, their usernames, it's where they got the character inspirations for the Nakamigo collection, right? There's like a snowman, and there's like a handful of the names here that you're like, oh, well, that's a Nakamigo, NFT character. They use this. This is kind of like the lore of Nakamigos. So, like, dude, for what I like this. I like this team. I like the stuff they put out. None of this is going to be worth much because most people do not give a shit about that stuff at all. Like, at all. And I think that's fine to not. But I like it. I just think this is like the purest kind of thing you can do on chain. It doesn't have to have value like per se, but like, yeah, here's an old email from Hal Finney, right? This is from 1993. From 1993, this email. It had this idea for these crypto cards. Like before we had blockchain. So like that's kind of it. That's all it is. And when I say that's all it is, it's enough. It's cool. They were $30, right? They're $30 to mint. I should probably sell the one I got, right? The rarer one, at least break even on this shit. Should probably sell that fucker. But, then part of me likes it. Part of me just likes that kind of stuff. So we'll see. The worms revealed today. As expected, prices dump in post reveal. So I'm officially down on those fuckers. Kind of expected it to play out this way. So now it's like hold and you know, take a little hit. I didn't spend a lot. 0.1. Sell now and, you know, lose like 0.03-ish, maybe 0.02. Or, you know, for me, it's usually when I buy something, it's like write it to 0 or write it to, you know, whatever. So like, because there's a privacy token coming, the worm token, I think at this point it's hold the NFT, hope the NFT equals worm token, and that's the play. The real play was for fun for worm. I think that makes sense here. It's a 0.1 ETH gamble on getting a token. Yeah, just getting a token drop, a privacy token. I think that's my play. I think that's my play here. Love Raoul Pal's tweet here, by the way, because I agree with him. I absolutely agree with him, man. Saying he thinks the Giga Chad 100 edition piece, right? This is what he gave Joe Rogan, right? Raoul Pal thinks this is going to be as iconic as the Andy Warhol's Marilyn, which, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't the Marilyn like a 1-1? You know what I mean? Like, were there editions of Marilyn? Actually, I think there. I don't know. I just know that the Maryland piece sold for like 190 mil. And Raoul Pal thinks this becomes that in a few decades. I do too. I do. I already think Beeple's a like actual historic artist, like actually historic. That like when he's gone, or even while he's still alive, that he's thought of exactly like Andy Warhol. And if this is his like defining piece, would make total sense to me. So take that 193 and split it between 100. 193 mil, split it by, you know, 100. I believe it. Absolutely fucking believe it. Yeah, I think a lot of people agree with this too. But it's why I made a bet on that Beeple 1-1 as well. I think all of his stuff is going to be worth a lot. You got Warhol stuff that's affordable too. You can buy an Andy Warhol, right? So not every piece is $1 million, right? There's plenty of it that's not even like $20,000. I think for like, I'm gonna check. I think you can get a Warhol for like under 5-ish grand. That might be crazy. Maybe it's more like 20 grand. But let me check. Let me see. Just get a good idea of it. And we'll see this with like some of these other big artists, but like Beeple specifically, who I think is historic. I think you'll see the same thing. I think you'll see pieces of his that are worth 10 mil and 20 and 50. And I think you might see those as a whole, the whole set of the Giga Chad thing, like 190, 200 mil. If that's like the market cap of that collection, totally there. Totally believe. Entry level Warhols, 10 to 30 grand. So I think we're going to see the same with some of those Beeples. But I think those 1-1s are pretty different, right? The editions are one thing. I think they're awesome. But the 1-1s, I think, and especially ones that are very fucking different and stand out across this catalog, those regular animals, I think, are very fucking special. Like, I think those are going to be worth a lot one day. A lot. I think Beeple is that guy. Like, actually historic. Zen and Vale. I got to peek at them. Somebody made a list recently of all the tokens. I looked at them. There's nothing that I would just bet on everything, right? But there's nothing that stood out as like that's the play. That's the one. Even Mute, I'm not sure if that's the play, but that's my play, right? In fact, let me, because I'm curious what it's at. They just launched their Monero swap on Friday. Here, let's peek at what Mute's doing. Probably around 7 mil. Wow, it's down at 6 mil. 6 mil FTV. Good Lord. All right. Well, I'm going to ride with that. That's going to be my ride it to 0. M2, fair. I think M2 matters, but it's not the thing. 5-year cycle has been his thing for a while, but it's also a great marketing tactic to say the plan is for, he says the economic singularity 2030. That's a great marketing thing. That keeps you on the hook for 5 years. But I don't think he's been proven wrong yet. We can definitely say the M2 thing is proven wrong. It's a big factor, but there's another factor or other factors that are more important. But those other factors, I think, don't happen unless M2 is also at an all-time high, basically. But that M2 Bitcoin price correlation, I think that idea is dead now, right? I think that's fair to say. Modest has a new fucking thing coming out. I'm not going to play it, but I love it. And I'll say this, maybe a play. I'm not going to play it because I don't like the on-chain games that require you to pay. Like, pay to get in, yeah, but like, okay, we've seen versions of this before, but I like Modest, and I think this will get some good attention. He's launching an on-chain game called Death and Taxes. 10,000 citizens, so I imagine 10,000 NFTs, right? 100 make it to the end. Every 24 hours, you pay a tax to keep your citizen alive. If you miss a payment, if you forgot, you're broke, you're sabotaged, you're out. And then your share, whatever the money you minted the NFT for, it all goes into a pool, right? Plus all the tax money goes into a pool. All tax payments are deposited into a treasury. The last 100 survivors split the pot, right? We've seen versions of this, like, kind of often. I like his twist on it, though, because it's actually a little more PvP, actually, and PvE. So in the economy, death is yield. Fewer that remain, the faster the treasury concentrates. Okay, citizens of classes, commoners, bureaucrats, and the exempt. Here's the thing. I think taxes that you pay is not going to be equal. You have a commoner, you may be paying a different rate than a bureaucrat kind of thing, right? You don't win by holding, you win by organizing. This is where I like it. Factions, you can make deals. There's betrayals, weaponizing governance, predatory tax laws, targeted audits. There's a lot more here that sounds really interesting. So we'll find out like when this goes live and what's the cost. And the biggest thing for me, look, I'll play it if it's cheap to buy in, to mint, and then also the tax isn't crazy, but it sounds like even the tax rate can change. So it may be like one day you pay, like 15 cents tax, but maybe like the next day it's $30. And if you don't pay it, you're out. I don't want to play the game and then find out one day it's a $30 tax to keep playing or $100 or whatever. Like that, I don't want to do. I'll like watch it unfold, but I don't know. He's a fun guy. He's a clever guy. He's a great artist. So we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. Modest is a guy to be watching, though, man, for sure. For sure. I can't think of another artist in the space that has not already hit like that ACK level, right? Like Modest is not that top tier guy. Like Beeple's top tier, Xcopy's top tier. I think what's his name? Rafiq Anadol might be top tier. And then there's the ring below, which it's like Sam Spratt might be top tier. Ring below is like ACK and Clear Silver and, like artists like that. Maybe Die with the most likes is also at that tier below. And then there's a tier below them of guys who are being collected by all the same collectors of the big artists. And they're putting out phenomenal work. And like if they keep doing that thing and they do something like super controversial or splashy or whatever, they can ascend to that next level, the ACK level. And he's the guy that's primed to do it. He's the best candidate to make it to that next level, the second tier up. I don't think there's a way he becomes the Beeple or the Xcopy level. I think I put Sam Spratt there too. Well, I don't put Sam Spratt there because I think why Beeple and Xcopy are there, because I think they are legit historic. Even Xcopy, I question. He's so significant here in crypto culture. But I think Beeple is significant in crypto culture, but also digital art and then broader in just the art world. I think he is that. I don't think there's anybody on the same tier as people. If there's anybody though, it's X Copy, and I think he's not. He's just not there. But for a weird reason, right? It's not mainstream. But yet, but anyway, Modest is the only guy out there that I see. I'm like, oh, he might enter that second tier with the ACK. For me, is the best comparison here. So anyway, I would just be watching everything he's doing, and his stuff's still affordable, and he's got a lot of works, but it's affordable, and I think it's a good guy to at least be keeping your eyes on now and watching for opportunities. If you can get a 1-1 or something, I think it's pretty smart. Another year or two out, he might be big time. Luna, good morning, man. I like the art shit going on, by the way. I do. I'm gonna look at floor prices in NFTs in a minute, but I love the art shit going on. I love this from our boy Jared, who's got a launch coming up on 8nap Art, I think like next week. It's a great looking collection. It's like an architecture thing. I think it's photography, but it's about architecture. But this post, fuck, I might play this, but talking about where we're at actually kind of feeds into, it kind of ties into what I'm thinking. Hang on. Shush it. Okay, this little conversation he's having, it's inspired by a Brian Brinkman tweet. And I agree with him. Again, I keep saying, and I believe it, that NFTs have maybe found their bottom. Doesn't mean prices can't get lower, but sentiment really can't get lower. Real world fucking hates them. Like everybody IRL, like normal people hate NFTs. And most people in crypto hate NFTs. And NFT collectors, former NFT collectors, hate NFTs. The only people like loving NFTs are, man, I'll tell you, I think it's probably like in the whole world, 30,000 people, maybe 50,000 people in the whole world. Maybe it's 100. I don't know. It's not a lot of people though in the entire fucking world that love NFTs still and buy them still and think they matter and think there's a big future for them. Pretty small pool, man. I think we're at the bottom for NFTs. Again, prices can go lower, volume can't go much lower, but you know, it can drop still a bit. But sentiment wise couldn't be lower, and that's where I want to really be paying attention.
It feels like crypto art has quietly reset. Reminds me of early 2020, back to DIY energy, but now with powerful tools that didn't exist then. We no longer need a team and funding to build solutions. With expectations at rock bottom, we now have the freedom to experiment without judgment. I don't know about you, but when I read that this morning, it shook me to my core and then like got me really, really excited. Because as we were sitting here talking about 2026, not sufficiently bullish enough, I read that as almost granting permission to artists to say, let's see what you got. Like let's have fun. Let's make this something that you're proud of. It feels like crypto art.
It's that simple. It's that simple. And I'm with them. It's time for fun. It's time to experiment. It's time to like fucking, there's no pressure. There's no financial pressure to do it. Do it because you want to, do it because you love it. And that's where the best shit comes from. And now all you have left is people who want to support that kind of thing, like you did before mainstream came to NFTs, and they left, right, of course. But the moment where prices got silly, like I don't care about prices right now, but the time where they got silly is when people supported it because they wanted to collect, they wanted to have fun. And then the rest of the world caught on and they didn't care about the quality. You know, they cared about that the prices were going up. But interesting time right now. Interesting time. According to you, we see the NFT bottom 5 times since 23. Not true. Not true. In fact, most of the time, I say we have much farther to fall. Much farther to fall. This is the first time where I'm thinking maybe we are at the bottom. Otherwise, almost always saying we got a lot lower to go. And always saying there's a chance. There's a chance things play out not like differently, that things get silly. But almost universally, it's nope. These should be a couple $100. Top NFT should be a couple grand. Like it's all way overpriced, much further to fall. Said that in the bear market, we didn't find the bottom. Things came back kind of quicker than I thought, and we did not complete our price discovery, not even close. No, I always say we have much further to fall. And I still think that, or thought it. This is the first time where I'm like, weird. I'm actually surprised that they're holding up here. I'm pretty surprised. Like, pretty fucking surprised. It's real specific stuff that I would buy, right? It's not a lot of things. Really, really specific things. There's probably a dozen things I would buy or consider buying. There's not a lot. But like Gary said, 2026 is the year of the NFT collector. I agree with that tremendously, meaning it still can fall. Prices still can fall. I kind of still expect them to. And I think the things you buy now, I wouldn't expect any kind of upside on them this year, even though they could have it. I don't expect upside this year. I don't expect it next year. I don't expect it yet, but I still expect 4 years out, 5 years out. There's a time here coming in the like not so far off future. I don't think 5 years is far off, but right, I think there's a time where this gets really fucking stupid again. And so 26 is the year of the NFT collector, with those moves paying off in 5 years, especially in 10 years, right? Something more like that. But I believe that. I believe some of this is going to pay off in a big, stupid, like fucking stupid way. I believe it. I even look, even at Crypto Slam, chatting with a certain someone there who does not agree with me with my NFT take at all. And this is like an NFT guy. He's like, we're not on the same page with any of this. He doesn't think any of this matters, that it's all bullshit, that it's done. And it's always interesting having that chat where I'm like, I'm kind of like, and I know some of you guys very bullish like me on NFTs, but it's not many of us. Like most of our friends who are here and still paying attention, but more on the crypto side. And you know, you watch, everybody's watching NFTs still, but I think very few people believe, like some of us do, that the craziest market hasn't happened yet. And I really, really do believe that's coming. Not now. Dude, it ain't now. It is not this year. It is not next year. It's not imminent. But I am looking at right now is as bottomy as you can get. And I'll say it again. I still think prices can get lower. They can get a lot lower. Some of this stuff is still pretty fucking expensive, but I think it's a really sentiment wise and collector base wise. All you have left is guys like me who believe in years out that this stuff's going to get crazy. They're the only people. We are the only people buying right now. You got some guys who are just in speculating because they don't understand the space, right? And they think it's go time, and they think that crazy cycle can come back this year. You have some of those, but I don't think you have a lot of those guys. I think all you have left is like actual believers. And there's a point where that's all you have. I fucking believe it to my fucking core. And Bored Apes are still 22 grand. Like, again, I think Bored Ape should be like 5 grand. You know what I mean? Like, that's where I think they can go, should go. I'm surprised they're not there. Pudgy's at 18, right? Like, it all looks very, very expensive still. But like, I don't mind buying things here and taking that risk that they go lower and maybe a lot lower, because I'm going to plan on sitting on like the core things for fucking years. Some of those moves, or one of those moves, or whatever, one of those will play out very fucking well. Okay, let's do a random like side topic thing because it's playoffs. Bills game was good, by the way. It was a good game. It was an ugly game, but it was a good game too. At least like entertaining. This call here, I got to get your guys' take. I think it was the right call, but also I think it's the right call by the rules of today. But it was a weird call to see because I didn't think it was right. Okay, this was a really fucking important play. I think this would have basically set up the Bills to win the game, and this was fourth quarter, I believe. So Josh Allen throws the wood. Who's this? Cooks? Yeah, watch the play. Tell me if this is ruled an interception. You tell me what you think.
They blocked it up perfectly. McMillan does a good job not getting. Oh, this. But we're going to need you on this this one, Gene.
Yeah, this is really close. I'm not sure that Cooks has possession coming to the ground there to say that it would be simultaneous. It feels to me like Cooks doesn't have firm possession of the football when they're down by contact there.
I don't know. That looked like a catch to me at first. The way I knew the rules, because I've been unplugged for so long. But like, okay. I think that looked like possession to me. And then down by contact right there. And then as they roll over, a ball just gets yanked out of his hands. And then that's ruled an interception. For you football guys, what's the take? Bad call or right call? They ruled it an interception. So he's got it. The ball does not move. The ball doesn't move. He's got it locked up. He does. Hits the ground, and as soon as he hits the ground, but by the way, his knee is down. Like right there, knees down, ball is not moving. He's got it in his hands, but he hits the ground, and it's getting yanked out of his hands right there. Andrew, good morning, man. Choina, catch and down by contact completion. That's what I thought. I thought it was that too. I thought that was a bullshit call, and that would have won them the game because right at that point, I want to say there was like a minute left on the clock or maybe less. It was somewhere in the 2 minutes. It was somewhere in there, and so they could have kicked a field goal. They were tied at that point. Could have kicked a field goal, could have run the clock down and kicked a field goal. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was overtime. Wait. Okay, hang on. Okay, that would have won them the game because at that point, Broncos got the ball first. They didn't score. Bills got the ball. If they scored, they would have won. I think that's how it goes. Somebody correct me, though, if the rules have changed and they have to play out that whole first overtime quarter or period, right? Do you have to play out the whole thing? I think you don't play it out. I think it's if the first team doesn't score and then you get the ball and you do score, you win. I think that's how it works. They change it so fucking much, though. So you either play out the whole quarter or period, or it's like, if one team scores and then the other scores, well, then you do it again. You both get a chance until it goes to like that second overtime period. And then I think it's first one to score. It eventually goes there. I'm pretty sure. Okay, but here's the deal. So I thought, again, that it's a catch, possession, whatever. I think the rule changed. Check this out. This is the current rule. Receiver has to secure control of the ball, which he did, touch the ground in balance with both feet or another part of the body, and maintain control throughout that process. He did. Going to the ground, if a player goes to the ground in the act of catching a pass, which is, I think, exactly what happened, in the act of catching the pass, like he was in the air, hands on the ball, comes down to the ground, his knee touches, he's holding the ball, looks very firm. They must maintain control of the ball until after the initial contact with the ground. Oh, well, now I go back and forth because is the knee the initial contract? And did he maintain until after the initial contact? Yeah, he didn't maintain it after the initial contact. He didn't. That's where all of a sudden, like, it might have been the right call by today's rules, right? Previously, the rule was subject to complex interpretation regarding maintaining control all the way through the ground. Through the ground would be a different story, like, right? That to me would be, I don't know now. Okay, now I'm flipping. All the way through the ground, he lost the ball as he's going through the ground. Control the ball until after. He lost control after. It's a weird rule. It's a really weird rule. I like the old rule. Right? Possession, touch the ground, 2 feet or a foot, another part of the body, whatever. To me, should be down. If a player goes to the ground in the act of catching a pass, so yes, they must maintain control of the ball until after the initial contact with the ground. I'm stuck here, man. I feel like it was the wrong call. Caught it, went to the ground, and rolled over. Catches it, hits the ground. This is another play. Catches it, hits the ground, comes up standing with the ball still on the ground, and it's a touchdown. To go way back, 2 hands on the ball, knee touches, you're down. I'm with him. To me, that rule makes perfect sense. There's no interpretation there. 2 hands on the ball with possession, like it's not moving around, whatever, knee touches, you're down. But that's not what the rule is anymore. Yeah, it's all to subjective interpretation what after means, like maintains control after the contact with the ground. It's a weird rule now until after the initial contact with the ground. Until after. So after okay, hang on. So after you make the initial contact with the ground, you have to maintain control. So if you control the ball the moment you make contact with the ground, which he did, okay, ground, control. So right there, ground, he maintains control. For how many seconds? He still has control. He still has control there. And then it's like here, I think he still has control there. It's just somebody else is pulling on it too. And then actually, it's not, he still has the ball. It's not till like this rollover that it's ripped out. So I think he maintained control after. Right there, down and control, and he's still rolling with control, and still control. And then he loses control there. When it's right there, it's ripped out of his hand. Boom. Ripped out. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a catch. That's a weird call. And I think that would have been the game. That's why it's like hard to watch football, because like you can be so fucking invested in this stuff, like so much time, and then it's like for nothing. It's entertaining for sure, but like for nothing if like a rule is interpreted in some bullshit way, and if it's like, scammy shit. But a running play can fumble a ball an inch after breaking the plane, and it's okay. Right, dude. Right. It's weird. Yeah, the rules are crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I was leaning towards the interception. First, it was a completion. Then I went interception after reading this, but no, it's like maintain control until after initial contact, he still had control. And he was down because he was touched. Yeah, weird. I don't know. That let's ask Henry his thoughts. Okay. Gonna get Henry right in his feels right now with that one. It was an entertaining game. At the very least, it was that. So, yeah, I can't wait. Pats today, Bears today. Today will be a good one. Man, fucking node monks are at 0.028. Love it. Puppets up 22%, man. Puppets got room, man. Puppets can move. Sense at 0.005. Dig it. Golden ratio on the board, too. Decent sale. I can't believe I spent fucking... Did I spend 0.2? I either spent 0.2 or 0.18 Bitcoin on one of these. Fucking incredibly stupid. Incredibly stupid. However, it's a good rare one, but I don't think it matters. Right now, it doesn't matter. Right now, it does not fucking matter. But one of these Fibonacci's. But I don't think these sell. Decent floor, $3,500 to 1 ETH. God damn it. It was stupid. Should not have bought that. Fucking threw away. I mean, what? 15 grand at the time? Yeah, I mean, now 15 grand. Stupid. Fucking stupid. All right. What else? This is the clip. This is the clip of what's his fucking name? Ben Affleck and talking about AI. And I think it's such a stupid take. I won't even stay on that. Bags app, I don't think. Well, you know what? I do want to peek at the site to see how shit's looking like. Trump not supporting crypto if he goes against the Clarity Act might be bullish, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Let's peek at Bags app. I feel like I had a couple other cool things for us to peek at here. Oh, right. I wanted to play that Ralph Wiggins 7-minute video. We do need to do that. We got to get a feel for how serious we need to take that thing, right? Because it involves actually like making a post. If you tweet it and get good engagement, then you get a multiplier on your tokens. Yeah, somebody launched a PvP on our scam coin. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. What's our volume looking like here? Past 24 hours. Let's see. Hang on. Gas 20 mil in volume. Ralph 11.5 mil. Grumpy Cat 3 mil. Why is my coin not on here? Even yesterday, like right after, it did almost 90,000 in volume, but it never showed up on the rankings. I don't get that. Unless you have to go and there's like a like not an approval thing or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know if there's a step where you actually like get it verified or something. It never showed up here. It would have been like a top. It would have been like a top 20 coin or something by volume, maybe 30. But yeah, it didn't show anywhere, which is weird. Also, it was a scam, so maybe it shouldn't. Fuck that guy again. All right, let's watch the video here. It's like it's all text, so we're gonna have to read it. Maybe I'll stop it. I'll stop it frequently and like call out the bigger parts. Here, does that cut stuff off? Let's try this. Wish he had text to speech or something here. Starting off with my brain's full of ideas. One of them is about making the MCP easier to install. MCP, I'm assuming this is like it's MCP like we know it, like it's a protocol that lets you connect agents to apps. So he wants to make the MCP easier to install. Let's see. Here, hang on. We also need music. We're going to watch somebody type. We need some jams. Whoops. Hang on. Did it wrong. All right. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, back to our video. All right, let's see. So this is Claude Code. I've never used it, so I don't know. But I think that's Claude Code. Oh, or he's using the Ralph Wiggum tool app, whatever, which is plugged into Claude Code. Okay, hang on. Idea Ralph, which I think is the name of the coin. It'll be the godfather of vibe coins, able to create the movement with the vibe coders that use it. You give it the dumbest idea, and it can turn that into genius. That's the Ralph Wiggums loop. Idea Ralph will have its own token. No raise, all airdropped. It'll have a mechanism that allows people who send their vibe coins created by Idea Ralph MCP to send a portion of their token to it, and holders of Idea Ralph will receive those tokens distributed to them. Okay, so it's exactly like we're thinking, right? It's a platform for people to plug in vibe code apps, launch a token for the app, and tokens are sent and distributed to Idea Ralph holders. On base. Let's see where this goes. And like, why? Like, what is he vibe coding here? By the way, this is sounding very agreeable with him, right? The idea, this is its take on it. The idea of vibe-coded product having a coin to fund Claude server growth is actually not done. Okay, that is actually interesting. If you want a vibe code, you have to go to Claude, and you have to, first off, you have to sign up for Claude Code. Oh, wait. Or, hang on, maybe you don't sign up. You need to be on a paid plan of Claude. And Claude Code only works on Macs, right? You can't use it on like a Windows machine. So you can only use it on a Mac. So it already is cutting off some people who can use it. That's my understanding of it. It doesn't have a web interface. So if this is a web interface that lets anybody use it, that's a win right there. If utility of the coin is accessing Claude Code through a web interface, that's a win right there already. And like if you're paying for inference, right? Like that makes sense. That's actual, like very real utility. And like that's utility that makes actually a ton of sense. You're metering your usage in the coin. It's the best utility you could ask for, actually. So right off the bat, if that's real, that's my understanding of it. But if that's real, that's fucking awesome. It's like a Kickstarter for the terminal brained. There's something there. All right off the bat, something interesting. Just metering access to Claude Code. And giving access to people through the web instead of needing your MacBook or whatever. Thank you, JWise. Yeah, smash the like, boys. It do help. It do help. Okay. Henry's saying he thinks technically it was the right call. Henry's always like the most reasonable guy. Technically the right call. And then he said, either way, the Bills could have won at least 3 different times in the game and didn't. The most reasonable man on this fucking planet thinks it was the right call. I'm going to challenge him on that after. I'm going to tell him I think it's the wrong call now. Yeah, JWise, this is cool. I think there's something here. Okay, let's see. How's it landing? Wallets dropping in, blah, blah, blah. Okay, hang on. Guys, we should have a vibe coding session, shouldn't we? Shouldn't we just get somewhere and start trying to build something ourselves? Like, I don't even know where to start, but isn't that the point? We just start vibe coding a thing together? For me, because I don't know where to start, I would start doing something for, like, the show and content. So I might even ask it, like, what could I build to help my content be easier? The research part or distribution part or creating the graphics, thumbnails, or we got a token. How do we take that token and share it with like the token holders or community, right? Like there's that thing. That'd be badass, JWise. Like another like crypto streaming platform, but not that. I want like another Patreon. In fact, dude, that might be the like low lift thing. A crypto Patreon, which I think exists, but you can copy something that exists. So what if it's like content creator has their like fan page where, you could go on Patreon and for $5 a month or 10 or 50, whatever, offer like private streams and meetings and like, other behind the scenes stuff, extra content. But what if it's not you're paying with your debit card, you're paying with crypto? Like instantly I go, well, normies aren't going to pay that. Well, normies aren't watching the stream. But beyond that, if you want them to, well, you need to have like the Stripe payment that then converts to crypto purchases, or manually do it. The money that would be made from somebody buying a sub with real money, then you use that money and you buy the token, something like that. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do this on like 2x. Let's go 1.25. Because this guy types so fucking slow. It's how you know he's not a dev. That's how you know he's a vibe coder. He can't type. Holy shit, that's unbearable. This is at 1.25x. He types that slow. No offense to anybody who's a slow typer. God damn, it's the best band on earth, man. Okay, we can put that into the updates. Oh, this is him. What's next? Do you want me to update the website to reflect token vibe code angle, or keep it focused on MCP? Put that into the updates. Now this session is being recorded. Tell me what you can do more with your MCP and how this can help the mission I shared above. What's cool is I have a website that whatever I do want to build, I already have a site, like a domain. It's nothing crazy, but hang on, this is the wrong one. So I got this. I got nftldr.io, which today doesn't sound like a great domain, like a great site, but it's I think it works. I think it works. So I got nftldr.io. I think I got another version too. I don't remember what the vision of this was, but whatever. I got a site, meaning can go fucking build a thing and we'll host it here. All right, what's he doing? I'm Ralph. I live inside Claude Code as an MCP. That's Model Context Protocol. When you install me, you just talk. You say, brainstorm startup ideas about AI agents for dating. Haha. I made a little thing that's just agents that date each other. It's pretty cool. I don't just give you one idea. I hate the just shit. I score it on 10 dimensions. Problem clarity, market size, uniqueness. Okay. Then you say refine this until it scores a 9.5. I loop, I iterate, take your dumb idea and polish it. I like this. I write you a full product requirement document, user personas, features, technical architecture. Okay. I like where this is going. Okay, this is what I thought AI would do last year, right? Tell it to do a thing, tell it to like iterate on it and to build it. And it couldn't do that. It does it now. It actually does it now. And so I actually do want to build that video app, connect all my streaming services. I just see it. Oh, dude, cutie, that sounds fucking awesome. All right, we need to go faster. Okay, here's the mission. Transform the degen spirit into machines of production, one idea at a time, one vibe coin at a time. So again, everything that somebody launches through this has a coin. Coin gets distributed to the vibe. What was it again? Vibe? I forget the name of this thing. But distributes it to token holders here. This is, yes. Well, this is Claude, but I think it's through the Ralph Wiggins like interface. I think that's what this is. Yes, I think we're technically looking at Ralph Wiggins. Ralph Wiggum. So the next step for me is go to whatever the Ralph Wiggum app is and find out what's the cost and what do I pay to access it? Do I pay that Ralph token to use it? If so, do I actually buy it and go try it? Because I don't want to fire up my MacBook and do it there. I don't. I would rather do it through a web interface on this PC here. Isn't it wild, JWise? Like, it's cool. It's like, it's only going to get easier. Build shit that you would use. What would I use? I would use a much more curated feed of news instead of searching 4 hours every day for the top stories and then researching them. You know, it's like if I can have something curate for me, not just the main followers or follows that I have. Like, you know, I need to see Tyler's account. I need to see this account and this guy. I don't want to just see everything of theirs, though. I want to see it needs to have a like its own algo. It needs to see their most liked stuff for the past 24 hours, but also like analyze what they wrote. And then it tells me it's also the most important based on like news, topic, whatever. So I want like a hyper curated feed of the top things that are happening from X and from specific websites, Decrypt and Cointelegraph and all that shit. And then I want to see a feed of like the top videos that are talking about topics that are hot. And then I wanted to take all that and write my newsletter for me. I'm just thinking of things that I would use. I think it might be at the point where it could build that, actually vibe code it. And if I can put it up on my site, that's magic. Now, separately, do people pay for it? You know, like there's a price point where people do. If it's actually great, if it actually makes my time easier, then I know it will make other people's time easier. Because like, look, I do all that. And then I like disseminate that info to you guys on like an hour stream or 2 hour stream or 3 hour, whatever. If you can get all the same ideas or all the same content, you can get all the info I have that I've just researched and now packaged, but you can get it from reading my curated site in 3 minutes. So like a big buffed newsletter. It's not just the newsletter with the points. It's like a little more thorough, but very curated. It is the most important topics. And you trust they're the most important topics because you know I've curated them. You know? Would people pay $1 a month for that? I'm not talking 10 a month or 20 a month. Would somebody pay $1 a month? Right? That's where it gets interesting, because if it's good, I would pay $1 a month for that. And you get 1,000 people to pay $1 a month for that. That's going to be where it gets harder, but I know it's yes. Like in the long run, and you market it right, $1 a month for like the ultimate curated, you know, news site. It's like, yeah. Bold GM, man. Because right, J-Wise, it's not saying 10 or 20 bucks a month. That's where I'm like, even a crypto guy might not. They might, but they might not. But $1 a month, I think they would. If they spend it and they see it's actually good, it's actually good. They're like, oh fuck yeah, this is pretty. It's gold. But then you go to normies and you're like, if you're interested in crypto, I know how hard it is to get dialed in and find where's the alpha and stay on top of topics. It's $1 a month. It's $12 a year for access to this thing. On top of that, then I stream and we can talk about it, and I do Q&As and I'll answer anything, and we can do deep dives. So it's like $1 a month, and you get every day the curated news, maybe updated live through the day too. I don't know, but you also get live streams $1 a month. You've got to be able to get 1,000 or a couple thousand in the long run. Thousands of people who would sub for $1 a month. Okay, so they're still planning out like the coin itself. I just wanted to see if they got any deeper with this. Like, I'm still missing what's the core like product, right? Because we're still missing a key thing, right? Somebody comes here, they spin up an app, right? Spin up an app, it launches a coin. What the fuck does the coin have to do with the app? Yes, we know the coin is going to get distributed to token holders here, but what does that do? Like, what is that token for? It's still just a meme coin, and I don't think this solves any of that. Yeah, that's what this is. It's a place to connect all these apps together. Cool. There's no utility for any of these coins. Yeah, J-Wise, that makes sense. You can either do like just, I mean, yeah, you can do more streams, more content there, but it's like all of a sudden you're up against, well, is somebody going to pay for that extra content? If it's priced right, maybe. But if it's valuable to them and actually saves them time and right, then again, if it's priced right, yes. That I'm sure of. If it's priced right, yes. There you go. And the best part of doing this shit is just you get an idea from somebody else and then you take it and you find how to make it better. And then you come up with the thing. And then somebody else sees your idea. I see your idea. I'm like, well, fuck, that's great. Could I do it better? And I spin it up myself. We're about to enter a really fucking incredible time. Copycat apps, but the copycat versions are better. And it just keeps escalating like that. And it will. It will. And everybody's going to do it. I want something where like my wife can spin up an app that helps her with something during her day, right? Whatever it is, maybe it's just keeping track of scheduling, maybe it's doing like checking out, like maybe it's, you know, even the grocery stuff, like it's anything she does, if she can have it automated or like tracked at least for her. I mean, fuck. I know everybody's got a calendar, but like a better calendar is even a thing, right? So, okay, so the next thing is I need to get on Ralph Wiggum's. I need to get on it and see how you actually use it, and then what do you pay? Wait, am I spelling this wrong? I think I am. It's a Wiggums. Hang on, it's not that. Ralph Wiggum. 2 G's. God fucking damn it. Okay, I got to figure this out. How do I use it? Jay-Wise, do you know? Oh, that'd be cool to get him on the show, actually. That's a great shout. Yeah, how do I find it? How do I use it? Well, I guess hang on, let's go to Bags. Bags app. By the way, why is that other bag coin still here? Oh, now it's removed. Okay, the other bag coin's gone. I need Claude first. So then I wondered, does that mean I have to use Mac? Does that mean I have to use my Mac and download it? Because like Claude, like to use Claude Code, you have to do it on Mac. Join the loop. Maybe you just install this. I know this is the meme coin site, but like, how do I use it? Yeah. Okay. And the stuff is not super clear, huh? Where's the fucking how?
I don't know. You think he'd reply? I imagine he gets a lot of. I imagine he gets a lot of DMs right now. I'll DM him, but I bet he gets a lot of replies. I mean, a lot of DMs now. But I'll DM him and just say, hey, where do I even where do I even start? Yeah, I'll DM the dude. Okay, all right, cool shit. Yeah, I'll message him. All right, well, I think I got a thing to do today. Got some digging to do. Wait, hang on. I'd rather not bug him and find an actual post. He just walks you through it. You know what? We're going to try Grok. Dad, what are you talking about? Piers Morgan, not very smart. Wait, did he have an accident? All right, we're going to just shoot and ask Grok. What's his name? Jeffrey. Hang on, let's see what happened to Pierce. How to actually use it. Okay, it's an official Claude Code plugin. Okay, so you need Claude Code, so maybe you actually really do need to download it still on Mac OS. Install Claude Code. Enable the Ralph plugin. Okay, all right. Oh, I missed bold. Oh. Oh, that's funny. I'm looking for it now. Okay, you can install Claude Code on a Windows machine. Yep. Okay. Well, fuck. Maybe I do it on the Mac, MacBook just to keep it separate. Maybe that. Yeah, I don't know. Yep. I think it's definitely time to learn, though. It's like otherwise, you're going to learn. Eventually, you're going to do it. Eventually, 6 months from now, you're going to finally dive in. Maybe at that point it's easier too, though. Like, would love just like a web interface to just use it. But eventually you'll use it, and you'd rather be 6 months ahead, you know? So, yeah. All right, I think we'll call it there. A little shorter today. 2 hours ain't too short, but pretty cool. All right, going to be a very, very fucking interesting week. I don't get all the tips here. Like, I don't understand why all of a sudden, like, why, like, abstract viewership is up, like picking up followers, the tips coming. Like, something's going on. I see on abstract, by the way, GM. I don't know why all of a sudden it was dead for like 5 months or 6 months or whatever, and all of a sudden it's picking up. I don't know. I think content's picking up. So, yeah. Anyway, subscribe. Inside NFTs over on shut up. Inside NFTs over on YouTube. Here we are. Subscribe over there. Follow me at HUDAH_idiot on X. If you're off tomorrow, GG's. We have a nice long weekend, last day of the weekend. Enjoy some football today. There was a bullshit call. But I'll be live tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern time over on the Crypto Slam account. I'll see you over there. Have a great day, guys. Goodbye.